Hey, my babies, part 2 of a chilling conversation with AI. If you are just now seeing this video first and you haven't watched part 1, go do that because I am not prefacing this, but you want to hear this in its entirety. Okay, here we go. Part 5, cultural collapse in music, art, and fashion. The entertainment industry would crumble as Black women are responsible for shaping nearly every major cultural movement in music, dance, and fashion. The loss of Black female creators from Beyonce to Ava DuVernay would leave Hollywood, music, and the arts world stagnant. The beauty and fashion industries, which rely heavily on Black women as trendsetters, would suffer an identity crisis. With no new influence, styles would become repetitive and uninspired. Black women's contributions to literature, poetry, and storytelling would leave a void in narratives of empowerment, resistance, and identity. Immediate effects: creative stagnation in entertainment, fashion, and media, leading to a cultural drought. Number 6, mental and emotional crisis in society. Black women provide emotional and psychological support in families, friendships, and communities. Their absence would create a mental health crisis, particularly among Black men, Black children, and other marginalized groups who rely on Black women's strength and guidance. Interpersonal relationships would deteriorate as the presence of Black women's love, wisdom, and nurturing disappears. The dating landscape would shift dramatically, particularly for those who actively seek partnerships with Black women. The immediate effects: a rise in depression, anxiety, and emotional instability across communities. Number 7, the world would become spiritually and energetically unstable. This is the part that probably blew my mind the most. Black women anchor the energy of the world, from the spiritual to the emotional to the physical. Their collective absence would unbalance the energetic field of humanity. Global vibrations would drop, creativity and manifestation energy would weaken, and cycles of destruction, greed, and imbalance would accelerate. The divine feminine essence that Black women embody would be lost, creating a masculine dominant, chaotic world. Immediate effects: a global energetic collapse with increased violence, unrest, and existential crises. Final conclusion: civilization would crumble. Without Black women, the world would lose its life force, literally, spiritually, and culturally. Experience economic, political, and social instability, suffer an irreversible cultural and artistic drought, undergo an emotional, mental, and spiritual crisis, stagnate and decline rather than evolve. Black women are civilization's heartbeat. Their sudden disappearance would be the beginning of the end for modern society as we know it. I had to take a breath. This was my response. Based on the response you gave me when I asked you what would happen if Black women were to mysteriously disappear from the face of the earth right now, and based on where we are right now in today's collective societal and political climate, can you please write a story of what the next 60 days would look like globally if Black women actually did mysteriously vanish from the face of the earth right now? It gave me a story, and here it is. The Vanishing: A World Without Black Women, a prophetic vision of the next 60 days. Day 1, the silent disappearance. It begins without warning. One moment, Black women are everywhere, shaping culture, running businesses, healing communities, leading movements, and the next, gone. Hospitals, schools, and businesses are thrown into immediate confusion as doctors, nurses, educators, and entrepreneurs vanish. Families are in panic, searching for mothers, sisters, daughters. Social media erupts with the hashtag, "Where are they?" But no answers come. The world doesn't realize it yet, but the collapse has begun. Day 3, a crisis unlike any before. Hospitals are crippled. The nursing industry, where Black women make up a huge percentage, is in chaos. community centers, activist groups, and grassroots organizations, many founded and led by Black women, cease to function. Single fathers and guardians are overwhelmed, struggling to fill the role Black women played in family structures. The beauty industry, worth billions, scrambles as hair care, skincare, and fashion brands built on Black women's influence lose their market overnight. Despite everything, some people celebrate. Right-wing media claims the world is better without divisive feminists and race baiters. Their celebration will not last. Day 7. Political and economic shockwaves. Wall Street trembles. Black women are the most educated demographic in America and hold key financial positions. Their disappearance causes companies to lose leadership, innovation, and economic stability. The real estate industry crashes as Black women, who hold the fastest growing rate of home ownership, are no longer buyers or brokers. Government programs collapse. The absence of Black women in Congress, state legislators, and city councils leaves policies in disarray. Communities that once overlooked Black women now realize how much they depended on them. Day 14, the void grows. Society's spiritual frequency drops. 2 weeks, 14 days, 2 weeks. Religious institutions struggle. Churches once filled with Black women's prayers and songs feel hollow now. Hoodoo, voodoo, Ifa, and ATRs weaken. The lineage holders are gone, and initiations, rituals, and ancestral veneration grind to a halt. Spiritual protection wanes. The divine feminine force that Black women embody is missing, and dark energies run unchecked in ways the world has never seen. Meanwhile, violence skyrockets. Without Black women's influence in conflict resolution, healing, and community building, crime surges in the most unexpected places. Day 21, the breakdown of society. The music industry collapses. Hip-hop, R&B, gospel, jazz, soul, reggae, and Afrobeats lose their essence. Record labels scramble, realizing that Black women were the heart of the industry as artists, producers, writers, and cultural curators. The energy of the world shifts. Without Black women's creative frequency, everything sounds empty. Black men are lost. Many who once overlooked, mistreated, or undervalued women now feel an unshakable emptiness. Some descend into depression, self-destruction, and hopelessness. Others, awaken to what was lost, begin to mourn and change. But it is too late. Day 30, unraveling of the Western world. Governments are collapsing under their own weight. The U.S. military is weakened. Many of the strategists, intelligence officers, and analysts behind major operations were Black women. Healthcare systems declare a state of emergency. Hospitals are overrun. Maternity care is failing, and death rates spike. Protests erupt, and the world is demanding answers, but no government can explain what happened. The earth itself feels off balance. Day 45, the spiritual reckoning. The world is no longer the same. Religious leaders admitted something is missing. Energy healers report a disturbing phenomenon, an imbalance in the planet's spiritual force. The weather patterns shift unnaturally. Storms rage, earthquakes shake cities, and something ominous is in the air. It is now clear Black women were holding something together, and without them, the world is unraveling. Part 3.